Little Kim, the head of La Bella Mafia. Oh, shout out to my girl Victoria Gotti, the whole Gotti family. Stay up. This time around, I ain't taking no shit. This time around, I never get bit.
BSL Stunna.
Suda just dropped a nut on.
Hit that baby with the scroll. Rock that baby lullaby. I'm just trying to get loose. Go ahead, get the vibe. Vibe. Hit that baby with the scroll. Vibe. Rock that baby lullaby. Hit that baby with the scroll. Rock that baby lullaby. I'm just trying to get loose. Go ahead, get the vibe.
Good life, good spirits to you all in this divinely given moment in time. It's your girl London Taj, and I am here today with a very special classic conversation with a very special guest. Please join me in welcoming BSL Stunna.
What's up?
BSL Stunna and the Backstreet Crew in the building. We are here in the 57 fighter group right here on the landing strip. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you how it's going straight out the gate. We ain't gonna waste too much time. Let's go ahead and get started and talk about some of the early stages of your development as an artist. What were some genres of music you recall listening to, like as a young person growing up?
Oh man, a lot of bands.
A lot of bands?
A lot of bands.
Really?
Yeah.
Like who?
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's definitely classic.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. The Gap Band.
The Gap Band? I wouldn't have thought that. You said Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Gap Band? I would have never thought that.
My dad, you know what I'm saying? He was big on the type of bands and things like that, so I get it from him.
I can definitely see that though, now that you say that, because you have so much energy, and when people have live bands and they're performing on a live band, it's a whole different type of energy.
It's a different energy, different stuff.
Somehow you found a way to do that just with your voice and with yourself when you perform. That's amazing to me. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. Look, I'm not going to jump off with the interview like that. So like of all those genres and those different bands that you discussed, you know, which ones inspired you the most?
Well, really Earth, Wind, and Fire, because they had spiritual songs. You know, back then it was a different type of time, so you know the things that they're talking about and the topics that they're really touching on is like come together. You know, black is strong. You know, we're strong. We're a dominant race. You know. Morals, things to live by, how to move, you know, respect your lady, you know, all that. They good households, you know, they really touched on a lot of that type of stuff. Really
that right there is deep. You just hit us right out the gate with some real deep stuff. That's dope. So at what point during your early life did you decide or discover that you yourself actually wanted to be an artist?
Well, that really happened at the age of 7.
7?
My cousin, Sharonda, my big cousin Sharonda, she actually, she wrote my first rap for me.
For real?
Yeah, she wrote my first rap for me. And after she wrote the rap, she went to Maze. So
shout out to Maze.
Wrote the rap, you know, back then in the 90s, late 90s, 96, 97.
Classic time.
Talent shows was the shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Talent shows was the shit. Everybody ticking, they dancing, they yinking, you know, all that good shit.
You done said ticking, you done took me back.
Yeah, ticking and yinking and good and bankhead bouncing and all that good shit and ring the topic, don't you stop. You know what I mean? They doing all these type of things, and Kilo Ali out strong at the time.
Yeah, shout out to Kilo Ali.
And I remember, you know, she took me to the talent show and I actually performed the song she wrote for me at the talent show. And that's the day that I actually became a star, because Lil Jon was filming that for me. And my cousin Sharonda and his brother Chris is very close. And not only that, Carisha, which is Polo the Don's sister, she was on stage with me too. You know, and these two people that I was always around, so I became a star then.
That's
so
dope.
Everybody knew me. If we can rewind time and do it now, everybody be like, damn, that's Nico. That's Lil Nico. I was known back then, so I got a taste of limelight at a young age, and I kind of knew that was something that I did want to do.
That right there is dope, because a lot of artists don't get a chance to experience and just put their foot in the game so early, and then, you know, be able to get that exposure and be prepared and just know what to do with it as they get older. That right there is super dope.
That shit was amazing. When I just look back at it, it was hard. It was amazing. Like I actually became a star then. Like I run into people who was in that era, and them folks either got it going on or they're just amazed that it's me. So,
yeah. Oh my goodness. We just unlocked some classic information about BSL Stunna today. Look at this. So, how old were you when you actually composed your own lyrics? Because I know you said your cousin helped you with the first one.
I actually was 12, 11. I had my homeboy. I call him my cousin. He just like my blood. His name Tom. He stayed across the street. He the first person that I actually ever did music with outside of my cousin. Like you say, my first time doing making beats, writing, putting songs together.
Yeah.
It was me and my cousin Tom. We did it. I actually used to make beats from scratch on Fruity Loom 1. I had a big box computer.
Oh, Fruity Loom 1. Hold on, these folks might not know about
I
that.
had a big box computer, fatback computer. Tom's gonna come over there. I had a mic, and we'll sit down and make the beats. When we get the beats right, then we're gonna go record ourselves. So we actually made like 2-3 little mixtapes back in the days.
Early. Because you talking middle school age.
Yeah, early.
Wow.
Early. We was already doing it.
That right there, major key alert. You need to get started early. For real.
We was already doing it.
So what made you comfortable though? Like to keep going through with it at such a young age too?
See, at that time, I was doing that, and I was real good at sports. So sports really took over. But the music, when I had the time, I was still doing it. You know, I wasn't in love with it at the time for real. I was really just learning and still learning it, seeing it as something that I really, really like without my cousin, because I didn't know it without my cousin. My cousin brought me to it. You know, so I started growing the love for it, and it made me want to learn more about it. So that's when I did make the beats, and then it made me want to learn how to write. So that's when I started writing. So it was like I just taught myself pretty much the basics.
You said you started writing.
Yeah.
I need you to repeat that for the young people. For the young people, you actually would write. Nobody would ask you or force you to do this. This would be something you would do.
No, I kept a notebook.
Wow.
For the raps. Literally, I wrote.
That's dope.
I always wrote.
That's deep.
Nobody knows.
That's deep, because a lot of younger viewers who are going to tune into your interview need to understand the importance of taking that time in their process. Yeah. That right there is.
Got you.
Wow.
Got you. I always wrote.
So you said that you continue to keep pushing. So now we want to move on to the development, moving away from young Stunna to the Stunna that has developed into who we see now.
Oh man.
What were some of the reactions you recall receiving, you know, after people actually started recognizing you as an artist?
It's crazy you say Young Stunna, because that was my name.
Young Stunna?
Yeah,
what?
that used to be my name. Like, I actually...
Yeah.
It's crazy. You called it out. Okay.
Wow. You see how the frequencies and the vibes be working at Classic Conversations?
Song I dropped is Young Stunna was Last Time.
Last
I had a
time.
song called Last Time. Me, my boy Pat Talk Raider, and my boy Twin. We dropped on a song a couple years ago. That was my first time really taking the rap serious, stepping out, and wanting everybody to know me for that. You see what I'm saying? Because I was always known, but I wanted everybody to know me for an artist. So it was kind of like a hit and miss, because I dropped the Last Time, and then after the Last Time I came back and dropped this shit, number 1 Young Stunna. One Stone. That's the name of the song, One Stone. And the only reason I dropped that song because there was another cat in the city of East Point calling himself Young Stunna too.
Really?
Yeah. So I dropped the song to let them know it wasn't #1 Young Stunna. So that's really when people started looking at me and see, hey, what Nico talking about? What that boy Stunna talking about?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
when I released 1119, which is my first project, when I released that project,
When was that release? How long ago? 1119.
1119, let me see, when was it 19? It was almost 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago. Yeah, because I released Shake at the top of the year. Yeah, almost 2 years ago.
Okay.
So like a year and 8-9 months.
Okay.
ago. That was my debut project, my first project ever releasing. So as a whole, because I did 2 singles. I did The Last Time, and then I did One Stone as Young Stunna. But when I'm making this transformation to BSL, this backstreet legend, this guy, this upstanding guy, this community-based type of cat who really is serious about what he say and how he moves. And when you see this backstreet, it really means something. It has a definition behind it. Like, so when I was discovering who I really was, and I just had to go really look in the mirror and take it in. I was always him, but I was in denial because I did other things. But once I got in line and I started seeing what I needed to do, it literally just started happening. It was like the leadership, the vision, putting stuff together.
Once you got in line and saw what you needed to do, major key alert from BSL Stunna. Take some time to get yourself in line so you can figure out what you need to do. That right there, you been hitting us with some major keys right out of the jump.
Yeah, I was.
What?
It's Taj! Shout out to Indie Boxcart Media for the edits you have seen here today. Indie Boxcart Media, where your media visions can be brought to life and done right. Get you some Indie Boxcart Media in your life and keep those conversations classic, aight?
LOVE 143, we switching energy. Switching HATE 182 from you and me. 411143 LOVE, our synergy.